Okay, I'm back. So, in the previous videos, I showed you how to turn a steam car into a boat, which was funny and barely worked, but it's still reality. A car pretty much is the same thing as a boat, just goes on land. And I figured out why my engine isn't working. So, Roblox actually doesn't have the physics to make this sort of engine work. And it also doesn't have air physics, I just realized. It only has force. So that's why this engine doesn't work. You can see how I have my engine rotated sideways, right? So in theory, in real life, if you put this sort of propeller onto a boat, it would push it forwards, because it sort of blows the water that way. And the same way on a fan, if you look at a fan, it sort of has cupped blades that are sort of rotated in this pattern, either that way or rotated backwards for direction's sake. And it just doesn't work in Roblox. They don't have it programmed in. And I didn't Google that to figure that out. I just figured that out on accident by trying this propeller design over and over again. So I'm going to show you how to make it work in Roblox by using this design that I believed would not work at all. And we're going to build a really sort of medium-sized steamship. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my wooden boat, right? Because this is the boat we ultimately start with. It's just like a raft. And I'm going to fix my driver's seat. Right, so driver's seat is fixed. Next, I'm going to get back my wheel, which is the same wheel you would use in a car, right? So now we have everything to make our boat work. Next, we really want our boat just to go straight in the beginning. So how do we get it to go straight in the beginning? Is even the question I have, because I haven't done this in so long. So, first things first, I say we just put our raft in the water, right? Look at that. It's a piece of art, isn't it? Look at it, it floats. Now, next step. It's really wobbling. Put that one over there. Next step I say is we build a central engine, right? So I'm going to take this piece of wood, put it here, without any Roblox bugs. Take our wheel, put it here, rotate it around, bam. Next, I'm going to sort of shrink this down real quick, like this, and then connect it onto the wheel. And shrink it down even more, because I want it to be really precise. Like that, like a stick. Shrink it down like that. And then go down like this, like that. And then I'm going to make this wheel really big. So make sure your both settings are on for your size tool. And then I'm going to scale it out in one direction using the normal tool on the both tool, which will make a paddle wheel. And I'm going to scale it back a little bit so it's not so crazy. And this, in theory, should push your boat in only one direction. It might spin it in a circle, but this will still get us going someplace. Now I'm going to stick a wheel on here, and not a wheel, a stick on here. And I'm going to make sure everything is perfectly connected, right? And this is sort of going to be where our boat is connected. So now I connect my boat to this, right? Ooh, ear popped. And put this on here. And shrink it down. And we're sort of building a catamaran. It's basically just two pieces of wood attached to each other. And in the center of it is going to be a wheel that pushes the boat. And now what I do is I add those flaps that push the water. And then this will show us why the boat goes in a circle and not straight. Because in theory, it should go straight if there's one wheel, not in a circle. And now I add more of these thingamajiggies. And try and just do like a medium amount of them. There we go. And now we have our wheel. It's not perfect, but it's there. Now I'm going to add my vehicle seat here. And now I'm going to put my boat in the water. So I'm going to make a copy of my boat. Get it out above the water. Weld all the body pieces first, as always. And then weld the boat wheel to itself. And then just unanchor everything at once. You can see it didn't sink. And now we're going very slowly. Now, I just want to see if it's going to go in a circle. Looks like it's going in a circle, but only because it goes really slow. Now I'm going to tell my boat to go really fast, which I should be able to tell it right here to go 500. Wow, that must not be a lot of speed. Nope, there it goes. So it looks like, at the end of the day, you need 2 wheels to go straight. I don't necessarily know. Oh, nope, wait, we just went straight for some reason. No, yeah, you need 2 wheels to go straight for some reason. I don't necessarily know why, but you do. Because I'm going to show you why up here. I'm going to make just like a model to show you what's going on in the water. Because in theory, what's going on in the water will happen on land too. So I'm going to make a copy of not just one piece of it, but the whole thing. So this is essentially the boat we have, right? And if I if I weld the body together, and then if I just unanchor everything, this is what's happening while we're in the water. And I think what it could be is that the uneven weight of the vehicle causes it to go strange directions. So actually a really good test of that would be, I'm just thinking as we're going here, is if I put a big block of corroded material here. Corroded material is the heaviest material in Roblox. And I weld it to my vehicle, of course. And then I unanchor. Now in theory, my vehicle should only go this direction. I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. Make it like diamond. Ooh, we're still not moving. Is that unanchored? Yeah. Smooth plastic. Wooden plank. There we go. But as you can see, now we aren't moving at all, which is actually still technically a good sign, because that means that this wheel is following what that block is doing. See, now it's going straight because that block exists. But if I get rid of that block, we're going to go in a circle. So the direction your ship goes is based on weight as well, which is very interesting. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another wheel. And I'm going to make the ship actually perfectly even. And the reason for this is just like making a gear perfectly even. If your gear isn't perfectly even, it's going to wobble. And apparently if your ship isn't perfectly even, it will wobble, essentially. And I guess the same thing must happen to cars too, I just have never noticed in Roblox. Apparently. So just remember to try your best to make everything perfectly even. Or at least make the weight equal. So now in theory that this boat, though very much like that boat, should go straighter. And then the next boat after this, we might put front wheels on it. Now we put this above the water. We toss this in the boat graveyard over there. We look at it for imperfections, because any imperfection will cause it to go an odd direction, apparently. And then we just select everything, weld it, unanchor it. As you can see, the boat body is moving now. And then we weld our wheels together again. Don't want to unanchor those yet. Weld this wheel together. Unanchor everything. Now the boat is ready. As you can see, it's going straight. And the reason it's going straight is because we have two wheels. And not just because we have two wheels, as you can see, actually it did slightly curve from my starting point because the whole thing is even. So, essentially, if your ship is not even, it sort of accelerates really fast, then it will not go straight. So the reason that my first ship, though it was similar to this, so right, the steam car ship I made that I showed you guys in the first video, had wheels much like this one. It was way too heavy to move in the water because its paddles were too big and weren't close enough together. As you can see, these paddles have lots of little flaps on it, which gives this thing lots of acceleration. As you can see with the steam car ship, doesn't have its paddles close together. It's very big. This thing's very tiny and literally goes a bajillion miles an hour instantly. And this is how you make a working car. I'm so sorry I get cars and boats and trains all mixed together. It's just they're all the same thing to get to me. Even planes. Planes are just like flying cars to me. So this is how you make a working boat in Roblox. And there you go.